Hello friends, welcome back to this Unreal class, and in this Unreal class we will go through introduction of blueprints. And blueprints is one of the most important things in Unreal Engine which everyone should know if you want to create some awesome cool assets for your project. So here we'll see again, it is a 60-minute class, 1 hour lecture, and after that 15 minutes we'll have a Q&A session where we will if you have any questions you can ask me and I will answer you. So next we'll go through this, and so in this class, as I mentioned, that we'll go through the blueprinting of Unreal Engine. So blueprints is a visual scripting system inside Unreal Engine, and in this we will create and implement some logics which is similar to like a programming logics, and we'll also understand the principles of programming, how we can use inside Unreal Engine using blueprints. So even if you are not from programming background, so no need to worry about that. You can just follow along with me. It's very simple and easy to understand. Let me give you a quick brief about myself. My name is Rajiv Sharma. I have 15 years of experience in 3D animation and visual effects industry. Currently, I'm working as a founder and CTO in HQ VFX Private Limited, and also I'm working as a senior technical instructor in HQ VFX Academy division. So let's start. So in this class, we'll go through programming basics, we'll create blueprints, and we'll learn types of blueprints inside Unreal, and we'll also see the blueprint editor. So at the end of this video, we'll create one example in front of you where we will see a reusable asset, how we can create that using blueprint, where whenever your character goes there, so we'll create one shop and there will be a sliding door and there will be a light. Whenever a person comes in front of that shop, that door will automatically open. That you usually see inside malls and departmental store. Whenever you reach to the door, and door will open automatically. So that sensor based door we will create here, and without wasting further time, let's start. So I'm starting Unreal Engine 4 right now, and since we are all classes going in Unreal 4.27.2, which is the latest version, I created a project already for you. I will show you first what we are going to do, and once you see the final product, and then it will be much more easier for you to understand like what exactly we are going to achieve. So here is our Unreal Engine user interface that we cover in our class 1, and here is as place actor, toolbar, world outliner, detail tab, and here is our viewport. So now since we are talking about the kind of a blueprints, so what I did is I just took that third-person template in my project. So even if you don't know what is third-person template, you can anytime go to add and import, go to feature, add feature or content pack. So here there are multiple templates are available, first person, flying puzzle. So I picked this third person and I just added to this project, and this allow me to run the game, and I can just simply run this character, and it's very easy and convenient for us to view and visualize what exactly going on and how your characters and game looks like. So it comes with some basic logics, and these all logics are also created in blueprint. Okay, so this will be our final product where this person comes in front of this door and door will open and you will see the light, and when it will come to this another door, the same thing happened, but you can see this time the light color is different. And there is a third shop here where this person comes and then light will be different. And also you can see that once this person goes away from that shop, that door will automatically close and light will also fade out, and it's basically power off gradually, not just on and off in one way. Okay, so how do we do that? First thing, let's just understand from very basic what is blueprint. So see, Unreal Engine, like any game engine or any game product, so C++ is the primary language which is preferred for creating games, and C++ programming language, there's no exception in Unreal Engine, because Unreal Engine is also using C++. But the developers in Epic and the Unreal Engine guys, they created a visual scripting language for us. So even the non-programmers who have no idea about how programming works, because once you go with in a programming interface, you need to understand syntaxes, you need to understand how IDE works, how compiling work, how your project environment work, how, so there it's a lot of other dependency that as a programmer you need in your project to create any project. But here most of the thing Unreal Engine can take care behalf of you, and you can just focus on your programming logics. So you can just think about your programming logics, like if you want to create variables, statements, loops, creating functions, you just pick nodes and everything will be done. So don't worry about that. Maybe these words might be new for you. I will try to simplify that as simple as possible so you can understand the basic concept of what exactly is this. So technically, when you are creating a blueprint, you are actually writing a C++ code, and but in the back, whatever nodes that you create inside Unreal Engine, that will be compiled and converted into a C++ code and then executed by Unreal Engine. So I'll show you first how you can create blueprints. So where you can find these blueprints. So there are multiple ways you can create blueprints here. The first thing is you can come to any place. So here I will come to HQVFX and class 1, and in content browser you can right click and create blueprint class. That's the number one option that you can create. Then second option is you can create blueprints from your toolbar, and here blueprints, and here you can create a new blueprint class. Then there is a third option where you can create blueprint is add create blueprint class. Then there is a fourth option, which if you can select any object, whatever object you have, and then you can blueprint add script. So you can convert this to a reusable blueprint class. So these are the options. It's up to you. Whatever option you can pick, it will be, the blueprint will be the same. The logic will be the same. It's just a matter of how you create the blueprint. So for us, we'll just go simple and we'll right click here and create new blueprint class. And in this blueprint class, whenever you create, it will ask you for a parent class. See, C++ programming language is a object-oriented programming language, and everyone, whoever is mostly only few of them are actually programmer. I guess how many of you are programmer actually here? You only. So only one programmer and rest of just artists. So now you can understand programming use object-oriented programming like C++, Python. They are object-oriented programming, and here the parent, they use parent to actually inherit the properties from the parent, so they can extend the functionality. Here what we are going to do is we are picking a parent class to create our blueprint. So technically you are creating a class, subclass of a parent class. So here my parent, so basically the common classes available here is actor. And actor is the as you can see here, there is another tip here. Whenever you take your mouse over the any button here, and you can see this actor is the object that can be placed and spawn in world. So that means whatever you can see inside your viewport, that is actor. In our case, we want to create a shop where we can open and close the doors. So in that case, we can just pick actor class, and now let's just rename this to BP. And it's a good idea to actually, whenever you BP underscore slide store BP store door. So it's a good idea whenever you create your blueprints, it should start with BP underscore. So in later on, whenever you want to search, you can easily go and search your blueprints. Now we just created. Now you can double click here. Once you double click, you will see your blueprint editor. So in this blueprint editor, let's just spend some minutes and understand what this blueprint and editor and how this looks like. So in blueprint editor, first thing that you see here is a component tab where you can create components here. Then you have my blueprint tab where you can create variables, and I will simplify what is variables and all, just a minute. And then we'll see the details tab here, and in this details tab we will whatever things we select and their properties will be updated. So it's like a same detail tab which we see there. And then there is three tabs here, and these three tabs is basically, first one is the viewport where you see the content. It's like a same 3D viewport that you have in Unreal Engine. and then you have a construction script and event graph. We'll see one by one. Just leave it for now. First, we'll start from the basics of programming. Okay, so I'm taking just 5 minutes. I'm taking you all 5 minutes away from Unreal Engine, and I want to show you. I want to just let you know about only programming. So because see, the fundamentals of programming is applicable to every programming language, whether it is Python, JavaScript, C++, C, Objective-C, whatever language that you say. Okay, so what are those fundamentals of programming? So number one, all programs, every program exists in this world, they are either creating data or reading data. So all programs, all computer programs, they have only these two tasks to do. It doesn't matter even if you are using Unreal Engine, even if you are using any program in the world, they are either processing data or they are creating data. So they need data to do something. Data is the primary requirement for every program. So the thing is how you will give the data to your program. So in a simple way, you need to do a add operation. I mean, you need to do +1 + 1 = 2, and you need to say your program that, hey, you know, there is a 2 numbers and just multiply. So how you will tell your processor, your hardware, that this is my number 1, this is my number 2, and then do this operation? So technically we need to provide data. Now to solve this, we created, I mean, the whoever created the programmings, they created a concept of variables. So variables are the containers which store information, data in themselves. So that means variables is the empty container which hold data, which hold information. There are types of data. All data are not the same type of data. There are numbers. Even in numbers, you will get something like number is like 1, 2, 3, whole number. Then you will get the float number, which is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Then you will get, for example, string. That means a text, letter, A, B, C, D, whatever. So you have different types of data. All data have their own types. So that's why there are different types of variables we have. Now we are going to see all these variables here. First thing is that. Second, all programming languages have statements. For example, if statements. If a statement is you are telling your program, if check this, if everything is fine, then do that. So if and else statement is also exist within the blueprint here itself also. So all these concepts are, there is no exception here, like whatever you used in programming language, whether it is if and else statement, for loop, for each loop, functions, and variables. So everything is exist here. Now, since you are not from programming background and we are creating everything from our visual perspective, because Blueprint is a visual scripting language. So I want you to now, based on that thing that what I said is, for your program, you need data. You need to provide data to the application to process. And the same way we will do. So let's say in an example, you want to calculate 1 + 1 and see the answer. First, let's just see this, how we can do this inside Blueprint. So here I have Blueprint editor. And in this Blueprint editor, I need to say, let me come to this event graph. And event graph is start with, sorry, I don't want to tell anything about event graph here now. Just forget. What I'm doing is I just want to tell you about variables. Once I will reach to this these tabs, then I will tell you in detail. So for now, I'm just taking that event begin and please ignore what I'm doing here. For now, I'm just telling you how you can add two numbers and get the result. So first thing is you need one number. So here you can see in this my blueprint, you will see that variable. So you can plus new variable and here your number A. So this is your A and this is the name of your variable. You can put any name you want. So A, B, C, X, Y, Z, whatever you want, you can give. And then there is a variable type here. So variable type is basically, you can select Boolean. So let me explain you one by one, which is the common one. Boolean is true or false. So you want to see if this value is yes or no, this place you can use Boolean. This is written 0 or 1. That means true or false. That's represent that. Byte is 8-bit number. Integer is like just a number, full number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 1000, 1 lakh, whatever number, but there is no decimal. Float is number in points like 1.25, 7.8, 13.9. So if whenever the point decimal comes, then there is a issue. Then name is just like a text. Then text is a localizable text string, and vector, which is like a containing the 3 values. So mostly we will use this for storing the color, or giving the color information, or giving the rotation information, or giving the scale information, like wherever this required. And one thing you see that this everything comes in the different types of color. So now let's just come to the point, because in our case we want to add number like 5 plus 2 and we need answer 7. So how do we gonna do that? So let's first take integer. So I'm converting my a variable to integer, and now I'm making another variable b, and again it will automatically integer. Now what I have to do is I just created these 2 variables. Now how do I use this? Now you can just simply select, drag and drop in your viewport. So once you drag and drop in your viewport, what you will see is what you are doing. Are you getting the value or are you setting the value? In our case, we need to get the value. So let's just get a. There is another shortcut for that. Once you press Control and then click and drag, it will automatically come in the get mode. And if you press Alt and then hit and drag, then it will come in the set mode. So set we will use later, but right now what we are going to use is get. So we are getting value from A and B. So how do we set the value? So right now we need, so here is saying default value is nothing. So we can hit compile, and the A value is 5 and B value is, for example, 2. And now we need to do add. So tab, and so now there are a lot of operations, lot of tab nodes available here. To access those nodes, what you can do is you can press tab, and once you press tab, you will see this bunch of actions for this blueprints. But now there is one option is this: you can hit tab, or you can hit right click, or you can go to Windows and where is that palette. So in this palette, you will see your library, and all these options are also available here. So it's up to you which one is usable for you. But for me, it's like, let's say just hit tab and get this and type add, ADD. And once you press add, there are many adds are available here. But in our case, we need to add a integer into a integer. So here you can see integer plus integer addition. So here you can see. And one thing that you should see, which I will show you just in a couple of minutes, here in a value we will connect to this first value, and what I'm doing is I'm just clicking here, this left click, and then there is a wire coming from here, and this wire I will put inside my first value. And you can see when I'm taking this here, I will see this right green icon. Green is saying yes, you are doing right, you can connect it here. What if I try to connect here? It's saying no, you can't do. So there is a red cross is coming here, but here it's saying yes, you can connect. So I'm connecting it here, and then same thing happened to B, and I'm connecting it here. So A and B is connected now. Now what I have to do is I need to print this somewhere. So let's hit tab and do print string. So once I do print string, and you can see this required a pink color stuff, but ours is some sort of green color, sign color. So now if I try to connect this output to here, this conversion in integer to string conversion will automatically comes here. So that means this connected here, and now to see this result, what we have to do is we need to connect the execution pin to from here to here. Now let me explain you what's going on here. What is this white wire and what is this color wire, and what are the key differences here? Okay. Now the thing is, this is execution pin and this is execution pin. These execution pins are connected with this execution wire, and this is data pins, and data pins are connected with the color wire. So there are two types of wire. One is execution wire, another one is data wire. Data wires are colored wire, and which will show you what kind of data is coming from this wire. So for example, there is the integer data passing through this wire, and there is a string data passing to this wire. This is very handy, and visually it will be very useful for you, every one of you, to understand that what kind of information you are passing from one node to another node, and then you can see. Similarly, if you don't press this execution, so execution is something, it's a sequence order how your code is going to be executed once you start that. So let me compile this and hit save. Where do I see this result? You can see this result in once you hit play. So once I hit play, nothing has happened. Let me just go through this. Okay, what I have to do is we need to take this, compile, save, drag and drop this in our viewport. And also what I'm going to do is I will change this the time for this in the detail tab. Duration is very low, it is just for 2 seconds. I will just change it for 25 seconds. So it will be visible in the screen for 25 seconds. Compile, save and hit play. So my result 7 is visible here. It's very, can you guys see on the screen this 7? Okay, so in that way you can actually see the result. Now our idea is not just to print the number and just see that. Our goal is to understand what's going on inside blueprints. See, in beginning, once you are new, you might see there are a lot of nodes. It may intimidate you. It may show you like what's going on. It's like variable connecting stuff here and there. But to be honest, once you will get more and more into this, you will be very, you will be very happy to use this, because this gives you so much flexibility in your scene and a lot of control in your scene, in your assets, and very powerful. I mean, in another way, if I say, since it's like an introduction of blueprint, what blueprint is actually doing here. So in simple word, I can, again, one more thing which I can say here is, see, there are a lot of options available in Unreal Engine. There is a button here. For example, let me take a light here. I take a point light here. Okay. So I took a point light, and in this point light, I have color. So I can change the color, and I have a lot of other options which I can tweak, like intensity. I can increase and decrease, right? Unreal developers, they provided a lot of options for us, which is good. Here you can see there are tons of other settings available here. What if some effect that you want to achieve, that is not, you are not able to get from this? In that case, blueprint allow you to extend the functionality beyond what exactly your logic is. So let me give you an example. What if you want to create a flickering light? If you want to create a flickering light where the light is flickering, and that time you can build some custom logic on your light, and for that all you have to do is just select your light and blueprint add, and then select and see this light is here and it's up, and you can just simply add some logics in your light, and by the end of this this class I will show you how you can add logics in the lights. But that's super easy in that way. And here you can see this blueprint, point light blueprint is also created. Right click, let me delete that so we can. So that means blueprints will allow you to extend the functionality of your assets. Now come back to our BB store file that we want to create. So before we go more, let me cover more basics. So then only we can start. Now let me just simply keep this. So integer we have. So how about, let's say, can we add two floats together? Yes, we can do. So let me take a float now. So this is, now I'm adding a new variable. This is my float where, and this name is up to you, whatever name you want to give. So I'm giving a float variable here, and float is here. As I mentioned, that float is something which is getting values in decimals, not the whole number. So let's select this and see here 0.1. So I will say that 2.5. So I have this float, and so to connect this wires, what we will see, we can just simply take this and connect. But how about, let's say, if we need to disconnect, then you can press Alt and click on the wire, then it will cut, it will disconnect. Then there is another way, you can use Control and click on the pin, data pin or whatever pin, and then the wire will be available for you and you can easily plug wherever you want to do. Now if you want to plug here, then it will not allow you, or maybe if there is any converter required, it will do that. So as an artist, if you might confuse, hey, if this is the output pin, where do I add this, right? So if this is the thing that you might be wondering, so you don't need to worry about that, because Unreal Engine handles that very easily. If your data type is required float, then you can only include float. If there is any conversion required, Unreal Engine will automatically do in Blueprint. So you don't need to worry about that. You just need to think about your logic. I need to provide this value. You don't see things in a variable. Okay, this is variable, this is float, this is vector. You just think in a way like, this is my object rotation. Don't think in a vector format, because see, if more and more artistically you will think, this will provide you the options. So you thinking like, I need to change the rotation, I need to increase the brightness of my light, I need to increase the intensity of my light, I need to add some variation in the intensity of my light. So with that logic, if you start thinking, then you will get more and more control and more interest in this blueprints. Okay, so here we created a float, and now if I try connect this float to this, and it is saying, hey, you can directly not connect, but it's required a conversion of float to integer. But if I say connect, see, it's automatically a new node come, and this Unreal Engine gave me that, okay, you need to do this to get your result. And now if I add this float into variable, and this is a very common question, 2.5 and 5. So if you add 2.5 plus 5, so if you add a if you add an integer in float, if you add an integer in float, what will be the result? The result will be float. If you add 5 plus 2.5, the answer will be 7.5. So that's the simple logic, and that's what happening here. Because if you are adding a float in integer, let's compile it, save, and let me run. So once we run this, we are seeing 7. What's the problem here? So let's just go back to this, our game, double click, open it here. So the thing is, it's again converting into integer. So here the value, whatever value is coming, but this value is converting into integer. The value, the output is coming as integer output. So there's no logic to actually set this here. So, but in that case, how you will add two floats? That's a big question, right? So for example, let me just disconnect this. I don't want tourniquet here, and let me disconnect that also. Let me just connect these two floats together here. That's not a problem. But if you want to handle the floats, so you can take this float and you can take your same variable again into your scene as many types as possible. So that's not a problem. So now we have 2.5 and 2.5, and we need a result of these two float values. What we can do is press tab, add, and type float. So once you type add float, then you will see float, float plus float. And now you can see these same colors. So these colors are same and these green colors are same. So green and green can easily connect together. And now we need to pass this to the string. And let's compile, save. So our output should be how much? 5.0, right? 5.0. So now we are not just seeing 5, yet we are seeing is 5.0 because two floats are adding together and it's coming 5.0. Okay, sorry. Okay, cool. Let's go back to this blueprint tool. So here we see we have seen the integers, we have seen the float, and most of the time you are going to see these two only. How about vector? And that is also important. Just see that vector and then we'll move to the another one, because I don't want to waste the entire time of yours to actually go through each and every one. We'll see, explore more and more cool stuff. And again, this is my pro tip. This will be completely waste if you don't try. You have to try, and try means if you add one or two together and just doing and printing the result, that is not the goal. You need to get some real challenges, like create some assets, implement in projects, or do some real work on the projects inside Unreal. Then only you will understand that. Otherwise, maybe after 1 or 2 days, 3 days, everything will be washed out. So practice is very important here. Practice will make you need to create multiple projects to be master in this, and then only it will give you much more control here. Okay, so now let's just come back and see what is the vector looks like. So here let me create a new vector, which is my vector variable. So vector variable, let's just change it, vector variable to vector. And if I get, so here, in vector, there's no single value. There is 3 values, X, Y, and Z, RGB. These 3 values you can connect, right? So where we will use this? I will show you in just a minute. So let me just simply, now this is the time to actually just remove everything, and we will see as we will start importing our stuff here. So variables, I guess everyone is clear. Then we will have here macros, variables, components. So components are all the variables that we put it here. Again, for the first introductory class, I don't want to go inside macros and functions, but definitely we'll cover this viewport and event graph here. So top menu bar we already covered, how we create blueprints, that's the thing. Now let me show you let me tell you how many types of blueprints we have. So before we actually start the blueprints, there are 2 types of blueprints. First, two types of categories you can say of blueprints. One is your level blueprint and one is your normal blueprint class. So what is the difference between the level blueprint and the actual normal blueprint you have? So for example, we just created a BP door here, and here we have a viewport, construction script, event graph. So where is the level blueprint and where do we find that? See, so the level blueprint, again, whenever you create a new level, new map, whatever you can say here, whenever you create a new level or new map, a blueprint automatically generates, and that blueprint is available if you want to make some changes or you want to add some functionality within your level, then you can utilize that part. Handy, and it is easy to all the logics will be constrained to that level only. Once you switch that level, once you switch, go back to the another level, then what will happen is your code or your blueprint code will not work. So your level blueprint will only work within your level. Okay, so that's keep in the mind. And this normal blueprint, which is we are creating the blueprint classes, this will be applicable to any places. That's fine. We'll see just some live examples like how this is important. So for now, the only thing that you need to understand is there is a level blueprint, and you can see inside this blueprint an open level blueprint. So once you click there, so this is the example that you can see. So we have this normal blueprint and this blueprint. So in level blueprint, all you see is the event graph. There is no viewport here. Here we have viewport, and there is a strong reason for that. We'll cover that now. Okay, so level blueprint is gone. And once you go inside, there are other types of things are there, because nodes are everywhere kind of. Even if you want to create materials, same logic. If you want to do animation blueprint, same logic. Okay, so let's stick to this our asset now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the blueprint shops that we created in the scene. So let's just select and delete. Okay. Okay, so now again there's nothing there in my scene, and we just see our HQVFX Academy text there, and it's just roaming around. So the goal is we need to create some assets which like a shop where this person can go and the door will open. So to get that, what we are going to do is we will start from Maya, and I'm using Maya 2019. And don't worry, I'm not going to create any models in Maya. I'm just going to show you the model topology which we did there, and how we exported and how things imported here. Okay, so then again, here we have BP store here, and let me create a new folder, and in this folder we will say this is my FBX file should be there. So what we will do is we will import the FBX file here. So Maya is open here. Okay, so this is most of you who are coming from Blender. I will show you what exactly this. Maya is the most advanced software where you can create models, where you can do, I mean, it's a proper DCC application. So here we build a model, and for now I just created a simple shop model, which is you can see here. So here it's just a cube which I name as a wall, and if I hit 4, so you can just simply see it's just a wall, and there is a 2 doors, one door and second door. So door 1 and door 2. Okay, so our idea is to, whenever a person comes in front of that, then door will be slide like that, and that's it. Then it will come back to this position. Okay, so what I did is I'll just select this and select file, export selection. So you can just use export selection and use FBX export selection. And way we will do is we are going to do inside my computer the Unreal projects, and let's say go to BP class content HQVFX, then we'll go to class 1 FBX, and here we will say this is our shop 0 shop V001. So this is shop V001. We just exported into Unreal Engine. Now let's see what will happen once we open Unreal. So now I'm moving to Unreal, and it's saying there is a message coming here. He's saying, hey, there is a change in the content folder detected. Do you want to import? And what you have to do is just click on this import. Then what will happen? It will identify, okay, there is a current asset shop V001 is coming here. Let's just do import all. Once you click there, go to FBX folder, and you can see here we have our shop, and both doors are available here. So let me just double click, and you can see our shop which we created inside Maya, we successfully imported without any problem. Very interesting. Let me just simply see where is our door. So this is our door, and right, one thing that you might notice is why this is all coming separately. Why this all not coming as a single mesh. There is a reason, because I want to separately control this, and Unreal will not give us a flexibility to separate within Unreal. So that's why I just keep it separately here. But if I merge or if I group it together inside Maya, there is no issue, we can take it. So now we have the assets here, which is required to build our assets. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take, I will go to this, our BP store door, and inside Viewport, now I will go and see what is add component. So in add component, now we will say, take the advantage of this, and we'll understand what is this Viewport. Now let's say add component, we need to add a static mesh. So guys, static mesh, there are two types of meshes. Here you can see, and there's one of the most advanced or important thing here is, whatever options, even if you don't know, what you can do is you can just simply go and see the meaning of what exactly the meaning is that. So as you can see, static mesh is the mesh which is consistent, it is not moving in the scene. So here we have our shop, which shop wall will not move, so we'll say that this is our shop wall. So I will select a static mesh and I name it as a shop wall. But where is the shop now? So when you go to the details and you will see static mesh, here you can select the mesh. So what is our mesh name? And so we'll just search for wall, and this is the shop wall mesh is there. So we'll select shop V001 wall. So once I select that, in my blueprint I can see there is a mesh is coming here. So my walls is there. Let me just hit compile and save. And at this point, what I'm going to do is, I will see where it is. Let me just simply select, drag and drop into the scene. Oh, we already have actually. So you can see here in our BP store door, it's already visible in our scene, and pretty straightforward, it's coming here. But right now there is no doors here. But if there is no doors, so that means we need to add more component here. We just added one single component, which is wall. To add more door, we just go back to this blueprint, and then we'll create add component. And then again, we'll take a static mesh and we'll say shop door. So in shop door, then again go back to this static mesh, and this time again we'll select door. So this time we'll select is V001 door 1. So we have two door. It's better to actually rename this as a door 1 and door 2. So this is door 1. So now you can see our door 1 is here. Let me just add another component, which is again a static mesh, and this is shop door 2. And once you see this is actually a parent-child relationship is happening between these two, because the selection by the time when you're creating the component is selected this. So it's better you can just select to the default route and make it attached. So now everyone is attached to the default scene route. So now door 2, again, let's just go back, and here we can select door 2, and here we go. So since we have both doors here, let me compile, hit save, and now our viewport is updated, and you can see this, our door is there. Let's just go and hit play, and we'll see our shop is here, but we are coming here, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening here. So the reason is because you need to open the door to go inside. Understand? You need to open the door to go inside. Without opening the door, can you go inside? Huh? No. Without opening the door, can you go inside? No. You need to open the door, right? Okay, perfect. So you guys know the logic. First logic is this. Yes, you need to open the door. Let's just double click this. And what is the logic? To open that, the simple thing is we need to move into which direction? X, Y, Z. Can you tell me which direction I need to move to open this? X direction. Perfect. And how about this? Perfect. X and negative X. So that means you understand the logic. So that means that's what we need to do. Okay, perfect. So now let's just come and create some interesting effect now. One more thing we need to add here is some sort of sensor. So sensor we need to create, because we need to tell. So my work is finished. Let's just don't save and quit. So we need to tell our program then, hey, when our mannequin reach to this point, then this door will start. So we need to provide the sensor value to this. So to add the sensor value or collision value, we technically call this collision. So add a component and type collision. And there are three types of collision available here. One is box collision, another is capsule collision, and third one is sphere collision. So let me take the box collision here and let me just first add this, and then I will show you what exactly in the viewport. So press R, scale, and whatever area that you will provide, and if your character comes under this box, then this door will start opening. So that's the logic behind that. Okay, so we just creating the sensor area, the affected area where okay, so it will be something like this. Press R. Is it okay? Okay, perfect. What we'll do is we'll compile, save, and we'll see it will be visible here. As you can see, it's available in the viewport. See this, there is a capsule collision attached to this character. So this is a capsule collision, and here what we added is the box collision. So now if I hit play, it will not visible, but just to add the collision will not make your life easy. All you have to do is you need to set the logics. How do you set the logics? So to set the logics, what you have to do is again open the blueprint editor. Wow, now you're talking, man. Okay, good. So this is now we have our logic. We need to build the logic. So here, select the box, and again it's attached to this. Let me just attach to this default scenes, and I will rename this box to our sensor. So I will just rename this to our. So this is my sensor, and when the person, when the character reach to this sensor, then something happen. What will happen? So whenever you select any collision object, you can right click and there is an event for that. So even in collision, it's saying, okay, what do you want to do? When the collision happen, when a person enter in particular box or particular area, then something happen. So it's saying when our character begin overlapping of a area, then you need to do something. So we say, okay, add on when our component start being overlap. Okay, now which actor you want to be overlap? So our character name is third person. So what we will do is add actor third person character. Our third person character will, once that will overlap, then something will happen. What will happen? That we need to tell that. Okay. So we need to open this door. So we'll shop door 1 tab, and we need to, what we need to do is we need to set the translate value in X direction, right? That's what we need to do. That's what you say, right? So for door 1 is X, for door 2 is minus X, right? So set, and then set transform, and it is basically a relative transform. And in our first class, I already explained you what is relative transform and world transform. So set relative transform door 1. Okay, not this tab, set. It's better to actually select the door, then you will get all the options related to this door, and then set. So set relative set relative location is here, transform is here. So set relative transform door 2, shop door 2. Okay, so we have shop door 2 and we are setting up a new transformation. It's asking, okay, where is the new transformation? What is you want? So let me just go and split the transformation, and here we can provide what is our new location. Here we can provide the new location. Okay, but again we need to, there is another way to do that. Let me show you. Let's just select this, but obviously you can actually pass a value into this vector and you can get it that. And but right click, set, and set relative. So and then set relative transform door 2. No, not this. Location. We need to set the relative location door 1. Perfect. Yeah, this is the one which we can use, and we'll. Okay, so the only difference between transform is they are providing you transform, rotation, and scale, everything. But what we need to do is we just need a location, because we just need to move, slide. So why we need everything? So let's just delete this. We don't need this. Okay, perfect. And delete this also. Delete. So this is our door 1, and let's just do one thing. Connect our execution pin with this and set the value, X value, right? So X value we can set how much. So let's come here, select this, and move until it's gonna be disappear. So something like this. So 130 will be the right value, I guess, right? 130, yeah, 130 will, or maybe 128, to be safe side. So let's just go back to default again and go back to the event graph and then select 130. And once hit 130, click hit save and go back to our game. And now let's just hit play and let's see what will happen. So now I'm going in front of this gate. And now immediately you will see this gate is disappeared. And once I will come here and it's gone. So something happened, but still this guy is not able to go inside. That I will let you know later why this is happening. You can fix it in just a minute. But the reason is our something is working, our door is opening, but first thing is it is just like it's disappearing. What we want is this door should slide. This door should slide in a way that shopping malls or departmental store doors are sliding. To do that, instead of passing that entire value 130 in just a second, you need to gradually give that. You need to add a timeline. So you need to add, just a minute. Okay, now funny stuff is coming. Okay, this is like we are just almost in the edge of this this session. So the funniest part is right now we are just providing value. This is the gate, and so this is the gate, and we are saying 130. Immediately it's going. What we want is we provide value and it goes like that, and that's what we want. That's what we want. We want door to be open like that, not like finish. No, that's not the way. To do that, we need 2 seconds of timeline. And this is very important node and one of my favorite node, which I almost use everywhere whenever I need to pass value over time. Let's just use this. Right click, add timeline. Once you add timeline, so this is my door opening timeline. So door opening timeline, and this what I'm going to do is let's just go inside first. Once you go inside, you can create a float value, a float track, and in this door 1 animation, door 1 any. Okay, and in that door 1 animation, let me just click here. So let me add a curve here. Once you add a key here, so on time on 0 second it will be 0 and the value will be 0, and then we'll add another key on 2 seconds, the value will be 130. That's what we want. So now, so our curve is not visible anymore. So what you can do is you can zoom, fit to screen. That's what you can do. But again, that door is not just going. It's like slowly going. So easy ease out feel should come in that. So we can select this, right click, make it auto. Again, select this, make it auto. And you can see this Bezier curve here, and then you can just simply smoothen this curve, something like that. And this will give you better realistic gate movement. Let me just, this is for door 1, but we need to add another one, which is door 2 animation. Door 2 animation. So in that door 2 animation, what we need to do is, we need to again create a new add key, start from 0 and value is 0. We need to add another key which is on 2 seconds, but this time value will be what? Minus 130. Yes. Now you're talking, man. Now you're talking. Yes. Okay, let's just fit this. So now this value is coming down because that is going in a different direction. Let's just select, make it auto. Okay, what we will do here, select, then auto, and then we'll make something like smooth animation. Okay, let's just compile, save, and we're done. No, we are not done. We just created two values here, and these values we are saying that, okay, you know, on 2 seconds we are providing some values, and these values will be connected to the location, and this is a vector and this is a float. How do we connect that? You can convert that, you can get this value directly put there, but there is another simple way. You can just right click here and split the struct pin. Once you do that, then XYZ it is split it properly, and then what you can do is door 1 animation connect to this float. So now that float value 0 to 130 comes in 2 seconds in gradually, not just immediately it will change. So your door will open in 2 seconds. We'll see that if 2 seconds animation is not perfect. 2 seconds means 48 frames. So 48 FPS is a decent number, I guess. Yes. And then play will connect with this pin, and then update will be connect to this pin. Let's just compile, save, and go and hit play. Now let's just take our guy and come to this point. Then what we are seeing is the gate is opening, but again the gate is open, but it just opened, nothing happened. Let's just hit escape, go back to the blueprint door again, and what I'm going to do is I need to do one thing. When this person, so there is a, once the person comes in the sensor area, once the person reach to the sensor area, the gate open, and once the person get out from that area, the gate will close. Okay, and that's what happened. Once you go to the departmental store and you just stand in front of that sensor, what will happen? The door will keep open because door will sense you that you are standing there. But once you go away, then again it will come back. Here in our case, it's not happening. It just open and just open. Why it is not closing? Because we haven't tell what is the logic for closing that. We can just again go back to our sensor, then right click, and then add a function of the collision once the component end overlap. If a person end overlap, which one? Our third person character, and third person character is our guy. It can be any of your character like Chota Bheem, your Doraemon, or whatever character you have. It's just the name of the character which we are casting, and we are connecting this, and object will be our actor here, and this value update is coming here, and on reverse we will connect to this. Let's just compile and hit save, and let's just see the result first, and then I will explain you what's going on here. So now I'm coming here and door is opening. I'm coming back and door is closing. I'm going back, door is opening again. So that means is half of our logic is already working. The same thing we need to apply for the our second door. So let me just go open that second door, and here we took the set relative location for door 1, but not for door 2. Let me just select the door 2 here, right click and set relative location. Set relative location for door 2. Okay, and then we will split this as well as, so split, and then what we are going to do is door 2 animation we will connect with this X. Okay, let's just compile, save, and come here, play. So once I will hit play, why? I guess we missed one of the connection pin. Let me just see. Yes, so connection pin is not connected here. So let's just connect this connection pin with, sorry, this. Let compile, save. So as I mentioned that execution pins are very important, otherwise your code will not execute properly. So let's just hit save and go back to this, hit play, and now let's see. Okay, so your both doors are open. Both doors are open, and once you come back, and you can see these doors are closed. So that means now your logic is completed, but even this door is open, this guy is not able to go inside. And what is the problem? The problem is not inside the doors. The problem is inside this wall. So to fix that, what we have to do is we go to the FBX and open these walls. So once you open this wall, and right now what you have to do is you need to see the collision first. So if I need to see the collision hull, for that, what I need to do is, let's just, for example, for temporary, I will just drag and drop this here, and I will use Alt C. So Alt C, and it will start showing me the collision hull. So wherever the collision objects are coming, it's coming here. But here in this case, the collision is creating the problem. Let me just again press Alt C and select delete. Again open this FBX file, select this, and you can see this simple collision. Simple collision is actually creating this box. But if I select this to a complex collision, and now you can see this is something which is we want, because collision should not happen in between, and that's the idea. So what we are going to do is, let me just go turn it off and select this character or select this mesh, and then go to the collision tab, and inside collision what I'm going to do is collision complexity, select to use complex collision as simple. Okay, hit apply and save, close, open, run our game, play. So now we can go inside. Now we can just come near this and you can go inside. Okay, so it was the collision problem happening in the, so now it is coming, the door is closed, opening again. So now we are almost reached to a place where we can say that okay, now our asset is kind of ready. Now what else? Now we can take, to make it more interesting, we can add a light here. Let me just open this BP store, and this is our so far our logic right now, and make it interesting. To make a light, you can go again back to this viewport tab, and in viewport tab add component and create rect light. And rect light is what? Rect light is what? So it's a kind of a area light. So it will be come from the top, and let's press E and rotate from top, and so it should look like some sort of this light. Okay. Okay, compile, save. Now you can see that the light is over here. So immediately, that is the beauty of Unreal Engine, that whatever blueprint you will add, whatever things you will add, and you will start immediately seeing all this stuff there. Cool. Okay, now let's just come to the point here. This light is automatically on. That's what we don't want that. So select the light, and make the intensity 0. So intensity is 0 right now, and that intensity we will convert by our opening door animation. So to do that, what we're gonna do is, let's just take this light, select, right click and set intensity rect light, set intensity rect light. Okay, and then we need to provide a new intensity. So new intensity we will take from any of this door animation. So, but we will multiply that with a value. So what I'm going to do is, let's just use a float multiplier. Multiply float by float. So float into float we will multiply, and we'll take this value from one animation and will provide this intensity here, and this intensity will provide something like 150. Let's just compile, save, and we'll see this. Nothing happened. Why? Anybody tell? Connection pins. So make sure. So you write a code, but the execution pin is not done. So execution pin must be there. Compile, save, and go to play. Once you go, hit play. Again, the light is not visible. What is the problem? Let's just go and investigate there. What's wrong here? So we are taking the door to animation, which is a -1. That's a problem. We need to take the positive one. Okay, let's compile, save. Now let's just go nearby, and this light is coming. And once the door is closed, the light is. Once you come here, then light is coming. Right? Interesting, right? So you can create your, set your games, logics like that. Now there is another tab here, and this tab is, where is that? So let me close this door opening. Viewport, you already know what is viewport. This is our sensor size. What happens if I just move this sensor here, compile, save, and you know what will happen? If I start playing, nothing will happen, because I remove the sensor. The sensor is no longer available here right now. The sensor is available here, somewhere here on the top, but there he will not go. So let just put that back to the location where it was previously, here. So now once this character comes under this sensor, it will run. Now you have this construction script tab, and this is very interesting tab and very confusing for most of the beginners. Like, what is this construction tab? So guys, let me tell you very clearly. If you want to okay, so we created a store, and that store you can multiply as many times as possible. So let's say if you want to create 10 different stores, it's fine. You can just simply take like this. You can just simply come here, select Alt and move it here, and Alt, move it here. So like that you created the 3 shops, and you can go in front of any shop and the same thing will happen. See, so now you can see how easy it is. How easy it is to create and duplicate your assets. So you just created your logic once, and you can reutilize that. Not even in this level, you can put it in any level. You can share with your colleagues in your team, and they can utilize the same blueprint functionality in their scene. Now there is a challenge. Whatever settings we are applying there, it's applicable to every blueprint instance in the scene. Now how about, let's say if you need to create some variations. For example, one wall color you need to change to something else, another one you need to change something else. A light color you need to make some variation or provide an option for users to change the lights. One is red, green, blue. How you gonna do that? With event graph you cannot. You can, for that you need to come to the construction tab, and in that construction tab will give you that ability to do that. Let me show you very quickly how you can do that. First, if you are interested to apply any material, you can double click, select the whatever wall you have, and then go to their materials tab and you can type here. So let me pick one, something like clay material, and you can see if the material is applied here. See, and but if I compile and hit save, you can say every shop is this material is applied. I know there is a tiling issue, but once we will do the texturing class, we will fix that. I will show you how you can do this UVs and tiling part fixing. But just to understand the concept, whatever material, whatever color you are applying to your object, that is applicable to every single instance of your blueprint. Now let me go back to this default again. Sorry. The material should be go back to the default one, compile and save. And now, for example, let me go to the light now, and in this light, the color is, where is the rect light? The color is white. And if I change this color to red, okay, and if I change this color to red, sorry, I missed that. Compile and save and then play. So if I come here, red, perfect. How about if this guy come here, it should turn yellow, or it should come here, it should come blue. So this kind of flexibility, let me show you how you can do that. So let's just simply default light, let me convert into the white one. So double click, make it white, so something like that. Okay, and let's just go to the construction tab, and this construction tab, select this rect light and right click, set color and set light color rect light. You will take this, select execution pin into the light color, and then new light color you can just put here and promote this to a variable. So once you promote this to a variable, then there will be a new color option is visible. So this variable is created. Now what you can do is you can just select your variable, the new light color, and you can name it whatever you want. So this is my shop light color, and this should be a part of my category, should be HQVFX. So all this new variables coming in the HQVFX, and I will show you where it will display. Make sure this instance editable must be checked on, otherwise you won't see that. So I'm just checking this on, hit apply, save. Once you click, immediately you see there is something happen here. Now let me come here, select any of the blueprint that you have. So BP, we have 3 stored here, and you will see a HQVFX menu here. In this HQVFX menu, you will see there is a option for you to select a color. So you can select any color you want, and then you will get that. But let me set the default color here. So default color will be something like 1111, and then there is completely no alpha issues comes here. So as you can see, right now everyone comes in the white color. So let's say what I'm going to do is, let me select this, change this color to red, select this, change this color to something like yellow, and select this, change this color to something like blue. Okay, let's hit play. So once I go there, okay, pink, yellow, blue. So with that, you can easily add variables in your scene, and that will give you much more flexibility to play around with blueprints inside. Okay, so it is not just like you can only create lights and sliding door. It's like if you want to create a logic where your person goes into an area, and when it's reached there, you need to add some sound, you need to add explosion, you need to do some any particular event, so that you can do. Or maybe it's like when your person reach to a particular level, then the entire level will be switched, so that is also you can achieve that. So it's completely up to your imagination, like what exactly you want to do. In short, blueprints are very useful for you, where it will make your life much more easy when you are diving into the complex projects. It will be very helpful for you when you are doing the particle effects, when you are creating your digital assets, and when you have a bigger pipeline where you want to utilize these kind of assets. It will save you a lot of time after, because you can automate a lot of stuff with this. You can save a lot of artist time, and as a technical person, as a technical director, you can create one strong blueprint and provide that blueprint to the team of artists who even don't even know what is blueprint. But that's fine, because you can create parameters like that. We created one parameter like change the light, and you can add more parameters into your blueprint and just provide that blueprint to your artist and just simply say that just plug and play. So with that, it will be a good, blueprints are in that way, blueprints are a good combination for a technical and creative people, where designers can comes with their requirements. At the same time, developers can develop a strong blueprint. And since the blueprints are editable and readable visually, so artists, they also can take the full advantage of blueprinting. Okay, so now we are almost in the edge of is it like cross 1 hour?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? So now I hope this one is clear. We'll have another Q&A session after this. Let me just quickly see if I missed any important topic. So blueprint, let me open the store here. And so construction script is, I hope that you guys understand what is the advantage of that. Same as event graph, and viewport is where you see all this stuff. Here you will see all the details of your options, and there you will see all the variables, and you will see the comp. And then this BP, your blueprint file is stored as a .u asset file. So anytime you want to share it with your friends or whoever, you can right click and go to explore, show in Explorer. So once you go show in Explorer, you can see there is a U asset file. But make sure whenever you are sharing with your friends or maybe your colleagues, so you provide all this information, because FBX and all this stuff, it's also required a lot of supplement references with that. Okay, so but anyway, this is to understand what exactly how this blueprints work. Blueprints are not only, this is not the end of blueprints, because when you can right click here and you can see blueprints, because we just created a blueprint class. Here once you go inside blueprints, there will be blueprint functions library, blueprint interface, macros, and structures and enumerations. And in our advanced blueprint class, we will go and cover that. Since it was an introduction of blueprint class, we can I hope that that is enough information for you to digest in the introductory part of the blueprints. It is not just like one area of blueprint. You can go to animation, and then you can see the animation blueprints here. And then blueprints are very helpful and easily. It's not like somewhere that you can easily get objects as a component inside blueprint editor, and you can take the advantage of that. Okay, so I guess that's it for this class. And now let's start a Q&A session, and tell me if you have any questions or doubts. Okay, blueprints Q&A. Yes.
Program, related program blueprint.
Okay. Yeah. That. See, blueprint is when you are writing, when you creating any nodes, when you the day when you open blueprint and start adding node, that means you are writing a C++ code. But you are not directly writing. You are creating a node, and once you compile and hit save, that will do the C++ part for you. So that, yes, blueprint is by using blueprint you are actually coding in C++. Yes.
When we use mesh.
Skeletal mesh. Okay. So there are two types of meshes. One is static mesh. One is skeletal mesh. Skeletal mesh are the one which is, for example, the animated meshes where the rigs are there, where we animate things. So it's basically the animations comes there, where is the keyframe animation attached to that. But apart from that, there is a static mesh, which is which will be static in the world, but at the same time those static mesh also can be moved, but only when external forces are applied and they are acted as a rigid bodies or a physics applied to them. So in that way, yeah, that's a skeletal and static mesh.
Which vector?
Huh?
Which vector?
Okay. So see, Unreal Engine 5 or 4, that is your question. So Unreal Engine 5 is recently released. Even though the beta version of Unreal is released from almost 1 year back, but still most of the projects currently only working in 4.27 because of the legacy code. And there is this definitely there is a good features in Unreal Engine 5 like Nanite and Lumin, and also the interface is very cool, and it's more like a more like a VFX software. Now it looks like more at least for me, is like personally is I like the interface. But the thing is, there are still the plugins that we are using is not ready for Unreal Engine 5, and that's why it's completely up to your choice. So what my recommendation is, if you haven't started any project and you are starting something from very beginning from scratch, you should start in Unreal Engine 5. But if you already have a project and you are finishing, or maybe if you are taking work from a studio which they already have something in 4, so 4 to 5 conversion will actually lose you some of the data, that who knows, like maybe some plugins are missing. So it's better if you're starting everything from scratch, okay, better go with the 5, otherwise use 4.27. It's all about dependencies.
How to know which pin connect to another?
Okay, which pin connected to another pin is execution pin. Execution pin will connect only to execution pin, and that is connected through execution wire. Execution wire color is white. White wire, execution wire connected is a sequential. So in Unreal Engine, how execution happen from left to right. So whatever things in the left, it will execute first, then the second one, then third one, and fourth one. This sequential order you can change using the sequence node that we will cover in our advanced level of topic. But in short, the white wire, the execution wire is the flow of. So if you are taking the white wire and try to put in any of the colored pin, which is the data pin, you won't be able to do that because you can't do that. Okay. And technically it is not correct, because that is the execution flow that you are saying. And data pin is actually needing and requiring a data. So that means the input should be a data which a node can utilize that, right? Okay.
Is it necessary to use blueprint in Unreal Engine, or is there any other way?
Okay. Okay. So is it necessary to use blueprints? What I would say is, it is necessary for me, in my perspective, if you want to achieve something which is complicated, and which is very good looking stuff, because without blueprint you can only play around with cubes and balls and everything like that for the basic stuff. But once you get the complicated project or a creative artistic stuff, then you need blueprints. Another answer which is related to your question might be, is it blueprint necessary if you are just a artist, you are only focusing on landscaping, adding props, environment, building environments, like an environment artist, then maybe it's fine. But again, I would recommend, if as an environment artist you are creating a tree, a dynamic tree, and a asset where the tree, you can change the properties of the tree, more trunks, less trunks, more leaves, maybe a particle system attached to that trunk, and then when the wind is more, then automatically the leaves will start flying. You will get that control if you know blueprint. If you don't know, you can just simply take that trees and just place it around. So if you want to go above expert level, I mean you want to do something in a very expert way, then blueprints is good. And it's only required you couple of days to understand that. So once you will spend like only few days in blueprint, and pick one of the exercise, real project, and apply into your projects, and you will be a master in that. And the practice is the key for Unreal Engine. It doesn't matter how many classes you will take, it doesn't matter how many tutorials you will watch, it doesn't matter who will teach you. If you don't do practice, there's nothing below. So practice, you should do the practice. Cam is off. Cam is off. Okay. Okay, cool. So thank you everyone for attending these two classes, and we will create more classes for you, and the next classes will be will announce, and it will be more advanced topics in Unreal Engine. So thank you very much, and thank you for your time. Okay.